Our airfield at Douai, this close to the front lines, was a regular target for attacks by enemy bombers. Usually, the enemy two-seaters were flying so high that they could easily reach their own lines before our planes had a chance to reach their altitude. However, the brazen attack by the French single-seaters made us all quite angry. Many of us felt humiliated that the enemy pilots were able to ambush us as we were climbing to altitude. They even managed to damage Immelmann's plane to such an extent that he had to emergency land. He survived, thankfully, with just a few bruises, but unfortunately his engine got smashed in the forced landing and some spilled fuel ignited. The enemy, however, also suffered losses. We resented that the enemy pilots were free to fly into our territory and basically attack us at home. Meanwhile, we were not allowed to do the same to them by orders from the High Command. A French pilot was almost always perfectly safe from our predations, as long as he stayed well on his side of the lines. I think many of us secretly agree that this needs to change. They must be made to feel the same kind of pressure as we do. No official word is spoken, no orders to the effect are being written, but more than one member of the squadron has mentioned that it is terribly easy to get just a little bit lost in these clouds when pursuing an enemy. I think that most of us are just waiting for an opportunity to pay back the French for the indignation that we suffered at their hands. Hello there, and welcome to a new episode of our amazing Wings Over Flanders Fields campaign, where we are playing as the German pilot Felix von Berg, still flying a Fokker E1 single-seater for FFA 62 based in Douai in Flanders. But not for much longer, because pretty soon we will be transferred. There is a transfer request currently pending, and once that goes through, I'm going to be somewhere else, maybe even flying something else, but that's going to be a surprise that you are going to hear more about when it happens. For now, today, looks like everybody's going up and we are taking off into a sky filled with partial or scattered clouds, early in the morning on the 6th of February 1916. What kind of mission will they send us on? Will it be another scramble, like in the previous episode where, well, it was really kind of spicy, once again, a run-in with some French Newport 11s. I kinda hope that doesn't happen today, because those 11s are really damn dangerous. Let's go to the briefing and find out. What will it be? What is it going to be? Meine Herren, our mission is patrol friendly front lines. Patrol our lines, be on the lookout for enemy aircraft. Our destination is the friendly front sector, Abschnitt FF212, 14 miles away. They recommend that we fly at an altitude of 2,600 meters. We will patrol the area for 23 minutes and the patrol distance along the front is 5 miles. Now, where are we going? Okay. Looks like we'll be patrolling the front line close to Lens. Just in between Lens and Arras, basically. What are we going to meet there? It could be either the French or the British. I think this is pretty much where the border in between their areas of responsibilities lies. So we could really run into both. I don't know. We'll find out. Of that, I think we can be sure. But maybe we won't meet anybody today, who knows. We'll see. I am flying with Bölke and Hess. Kette 1 will be led by Immelmann, with Österreich and Henker following. Okay, we are first going to take off, fly southeast, circle up, and then fly northwest to waypoint 1, climb to an altitude of 2,400, turn towards the frontline sector, climb another 200 meters, and then patrol this little stretch between the frontline sector and waypoint 2 for 23 minutes before we return to Douai. Let's go to the field, take a quick look at the weather report. The wind is 16 knots, moderate breeze from the west. That's fine. Let's go to the field and fly this. Oh, looks like we have some visitors above. But those are Germans. We are starting our engines. And we're immediately going. It doesn't look very nice today. Although maybe it's just because we are under a cloud shadow. But there are quite a few clouds and they seem quite thick. I'm sure it will look much better once we are above the clouds though. So let's wait for that. Yeah, I'm sure. Where did those aircraft go? There they are. What were they? Those were not aviatics. Oh, those are Falls. Okay. Those were, I think, Falls scout aircraft. My best guess. The Falls 1. So those must be, or those are most likely Bavarian pilots belonging to the Kingdom of Bavaria. They were flying those things. Not very good. Let's just leave it at that. Those are basically licensed built Morin-Saulnier parasols. So at this point, extremely outdated. Very, very outdated. Oh, look at that! There's a train! Oh, will you look at that? A train is passing through. That's nice. I'm happy to see that. More supplies for the front lines. These old steam trains, these steam locomotives, they really do have something charming about them, don't they? They really do. But alright, enough about that. We'll continue our flight. We are flying to our circle up waypoint right now. And yeah, as soon as we are off the ground and getting away from underneath the cloud shadow, the world immediately starts to look a little bit nicer, doesn't it? Cat 1 is following us. No enemies are pouncing down on us yet. So, everything's fine. So far, a very enjoyable flight. Don't crash into Bölke. Where is he? There he is. Hi there. A very enjoyable flight so far. And I hope that it continues like this. So for now, I'm going to put a little cut into the video, and we are going to resume this flight to the circle up waypoint. But I have a little suggestion for you before we do that. I've told you earlier that I will transfer. I've put in a transfer request to another unit. Let's make it a little game. You can guess in the comments which unit I'm transferring to. There will not be any prize for the winner, just a personal satisfaction that you got it right. But I think that's also quite nice if you do get it right and you know, ha, I got it. So yeah, let me know in the comments what you think. To which unit am I transferring, considering that it is the beginning of 1916. February 1916. Let me know what you think. I am curious to see if anybody will guess it. Okay. I'm not going to confirm it in the comments, mind you, but I'm just curious to see if anybody will guess it right. So, for now, let's cut the video. Let's jump ahead to when something happens, or when we are close to the dreaded front lines, which are basically behind us, I think. Yeah, it's pretty much directly to the west from here, so we'll be patrolling over there, that area. See you soon. Welcome back. We are getting closer and closer to the front lines. Actually, let me just check. I think the city of Lens, yeah, we are basically directly above it. Or well, of the remains of Lens, I should say. So we are almost at our first waypoint from where we will turn southwest to the frontline sector. So at this point we are already in dangerous territory, I should say. However, Kette 1 is directly above us and behind us, so we are really traveling here as a group of 6 aircraft. Any new ports might have second thoughts about attacking a formation of 6 Fokkers. That's my hope, that our sheer numbers will keep them away from us. If they have the numbers on their side, then we are in really deep shit. But if that doesn't happen, if it's maybe just a pair of new ports somewhere out there, or maybe a trio, then I think we'll be fine. They won't dare to attack us. Not if there's 6 of us. Or maybe they will, but then they will get a really harsh lesson. I think with such a numerical superiority, we can hold our ground against them, even if it's the new 47. We'll see. We should be at the turning points any moment, and then, as I said, we are going to turn southwest, so we'll fly basically directly that way and then resume our patrol along the front lines in that area there. It's going to be very soon. Very soon. This ugly streak of destruction that runs through the land, it's always a sombering sight. When you imagine that just so much destruction was brought down by artillery, essentially, that it really eradicated, I think that's the word that best describes it, that eradicated a whole stretch of the countryside. It's crazy when you think about it, how much destructive power was unleashed in this war. And even today, some of you might not know, but even today there are areas along the former battlefields where the ground is just, it's toxic because of all the chemicals that were dumped into it from these shells. There are areas, they are called Zone Rouge, so red zones. You're not allowed to go there. And there's probably still plenty of unexploded ordnance buried. It's really crazy. It's really crazy. More than a century has passed since this madness. And the consequences of this madness are still felt in some areas, still visible. Crazy. Really crazy. But okay, we are continuing our patrol. As I said, we should be at our turning point any moment now. And then we are going to resume the patrol along the front line. I'm sure that we'll catch some anti-aircraft fire. That would not surprise me at all. Yeah, there we go, we are turning. We are now turning in. So far the skies are clear. Nobody's threatening us. We'll see if it stays that way. I'll put a little cut into the video. and we'll resume once something happens. But this time I'll keep recording. We are not missing anything today. Welcome back. Something might be happening, but I'm not sure. Suddenly Kette 1 is a fair bit behind us. Either we are pulling a much sharper turn than they are. No, we are turning south again. We are currently at waypoint number 2 pretty much, so I think we were starting our turn back towards the north along the front sector. But for some reason we are flying as there's something. There is something right there. Looks like we are going for something. Might be an enemy two-seater. Right there. Yeah, that's a two-seater. By the looks of it, a Quadron, a French one. It looks like we are getting ready to engage. I didn't even see that thing. My best guess is it's trying to run away now, but Kette 1 is on its tail, and we are following. Our turn cost us a bit of time. Yeah, that thing is running away. That thing is definitely running away. The question is, how far will we pursue? Because officially we are not really allowed into enemy territory. Sure, we might chase a short distance behind the enemy lines, but we are going to turn back pretty soon, I think. Kette 1 is receiving flak fire. And we are receiving flak fire now. Looks like the enemy plane might be diving away into enemy territory. Kette 1 is following, but they might not be fast enough to catch it before it gets too deep into enemy territory. It's really a race now. And even if they catch it, a Quadron can take some punishment. Those things are not easy to bring down. Yeah, that thing is running. I doubt that we are going to be able to catch it. But it's a race now. Berg is no longer blipping his engine, he's going full power. His E2 is faster than my E1, of course. But I doubt that even he will be able to reach that Quadron before it gets too deep into enemy territory. It's definitely diving. We have to be vigilant though. Could be a trap. It could also be a trap. For now we are following, but you can tell by the greenery in front of us here on the ground that we are already across the lines into enemy territory where we are not supposed to be. So as I said, my best guess is that that Quadron is getting pretty close to a French airfield at this point, and that we are not gonna pursue much further. Where is it? There it is. Still diving. Kette 1 on its tail. But I don't think they'll be able to catch it. I doubt it. What we don't want to happen, of course, is to be jumped by enemy fighters inside enemy territory. That would now be the worst possible thing to happen. So we gotta keep our eyes peeled here, and we gotta stay together as much as we can. And we gotta hope that nobody's engine, especially not mine, starts to develop issues now. That would be really bad. Where's the enemy plane? There. Still running away hard. That Quadron, they know that they don't have the slightest chance against 6 Fokkers, so I guess that as soon as they spotted us, they turned around and started to run away. We really only spotted this thing at the most southern point of our patrol. Which is a shame, because that meant that we needed some time to turn around. We spotted it while we were in our turn back towards the north. Kette 1 was in a slightly better position, but even so, I doubt they're going to catch it. There's Immelmann, I presume. And even he is still a few hundred meters away from that thing. We're getting really deep. We're now really deep in enemy territory. Let's look for air bases. Nothing there. Don't see any there either. Although, no, just a clearing. Anti-aircraft fire seems to be intensifying up there. That might mean that we are getting close to an enemy airfield. The Quadron is also starting to spiral down. Yeah, I think we have an enemy airfield right in front of us. Bölk is diving. Are we really doing this, guys? I guess it's going to be hit and run. Maybe one pass and then we are getting out. The Quadron is spiraling down. And as it's spiraling down, it's now flying in our direction a bit, and we are taking the opportunity apparently to dive behind it really hard. Bölk is going in. I'll try to stay with Bölk, but he's diving aggressively now. Very aggressively. Yeah, the engine's starting to sing. Here goes Kette 1. Looks like they turned around, they're going out. Bölk has pulled up sharply. He's aborted his dive and is turning around also. Or is he? Or did he just get a little bit too fast here? Maybe he has spotted enemy fighters. There's Hess. I'm going to slot in behind Hess and observe what's happening. Enemy airfield directly below us. Yeah, this is not good. The Quadron is over there. I'm not going after that thing on my own. Blipping my engine, don't want to over-rev. I'll try to stay with my guys here, but I have a feeling that we are gonna dip out of here. There might be fighters taking off right now. Or are we making a pass on the Quadron? What the hell is Bölk doing? A little bit of stunting, huh? Okay. What are we doing, guys? There's the Quadron. I could risk a quick attack, but I wouldn't want to risk a frontal attack on that. What the hell is Bölke doing? Does he want to impress the French down there? I mean, sure, go ahead. But I wouldn't want to attack that Caudron from the front, to be honest, because it does have a gunner who is sitting in the front. There's another airfield. Still, we are now so close. Might as well give it a pass. Coming in behind and below. Yeah, the gunner took a quick shot. Dipping down where he can't see me. Putting in a few shots and dipping down again. Just gave that thing a little bit to remember us by. Now what? Looks like we are flying out. I guess our honor is satisfied. And we are getting out of here. Before enemy fighters can show up. Yeah, there's an airfield right there below my stabilizer. And one directly below us. Kette 1 is already out. And yeah, we are definitely setting course for home here. Or at least for friendly lines. It's quite far though. Is anybody climbing after me? That's what I need to be afraid of now. Are any new ports climbing after me? I have no doubt that these are French airfields. Here, there, look. Right there. I don't see any aircraft. But that doesn't mean much. They could already be in the air. Well, I guess this is us returning their visits from a few days ago when they were so kind as to visit our airfield. And now we are so kind as to return the favor and give their anti-aircraft gunners the opportunity to practice. I didn't land good hits on that control. That thing is not going down from those few hits. But maybe it will be enough to keep it out of service for 1 or 2 days. Which is also nice. Deny the enemy an aircraft. For behind me. That's not a Caudron. Nope, that's a new port. Yeah, let's get out of here. Run, run, run. Run away. Looks like we'll be hiding in the cloud. Not the worst idea right now. It's not the worst idea right now, but I think this cloud might be a bit thick. I don't know. If it's too thick, I can dive a little bit lower. And whoa, okay. Windy. Turbulence inside the cloud is always a thing. Ah, this doesn't seem to be too bad. I think we'll be okay inside of it. That's not too bad. We can still tell where up and down is. That's the most important part. It's not a very high cloud. As long as you can tell where up and down are, you are fine. As long as that's guaranteed, you can stay inside. And yeah, this is alright. Could be much worse. Turbulence inside the cloud is making things a bit bumpy, as you can maybe tell. But I'd rather take this than a pursuit by enemy Nieuports. It's good that we turned around when we did. Had I stuck around and maybe tried a bit harder to bring that Cotron down, I would now be caught alone behind enemy lines by at least one enemy Nieuport. And that's not the position I want to be in, and neither... Okay, I can still tell where it is. That's really not the position where I want to be in. Definitely not. So it's really a great decision that I made to dip out right there and to follow Burke and Hess out of this mess. It really is. Any other decision could have been really, really bad. Oh, it's a bit bumpy. Okay. Looks like the cloud is ending behind us. Okay. And we should be going back across the lines very soon now. In fact, there's a whole lot of anti-aircraft fire in front of us that Burke is receiving. My fuel situation is still fine. We have a little bit over a quarter left. That's alright. Nothing seems to be following me immediately, which is also good. Nothing seems to be diving on us, which is very good as well. And while we are flying home like this, maybe it's time for another book recommendation. Did I ever mention that I like to read? So, what's it gonna be today? Let me have a look. What am I going to suggest to you today? Ooh, flak. Bit of flak here. Don't want to catch a shell. That would be bad. But when it comes to books to read... did I suggest this one already to you? No Parachute. No Parachute by Lieutenant Lee Sherwood. That was an interesting book. It's the author, he was a pilot during World War I, a British pilot. And he wrote letters home to his wife. And after the war he decided to bundle those, well, some of those letters, I guess, bundle some of those letters together into a book. And it's basically an account of his time on the front lines, flying mostly Sopwith Pup. And it's such an interesting perspective of the war. Honestly, I'm quite a little bit shocked that he wrote to his wife in such detail of the dangers he got himself into. But it's good that he did, because it's a very interesting account of his experiences on the front line. And my god, did they have some really close calls. Some really insane missions. I mean, we have flown through a cloud back there, which really reduced our visibility. But I want you to imagine the following, something that he experienced during his participation in the Battle of Cambrai, during the first days of that. They were ordered to fly missions where they were supposed to fly across the front line and strafe and bomb German artillery positions, supply columns, reinforcement columns, stuff like that, concentrations of enemy troops. And I want you to imagine the following. Imagine you driving your car in the fall, and there is fog, and you can maybe see 100 or 200 meters ahead. So it's really thick fog, right? Pretty thick. And you are driving your car, and with that visibility, how fast are you driving at that visibility? Not that fast, right? Maybe you're slowing down a little bit because it's kind of sketchy and kind of scary. On those first days of the offensive, they were ordered. I don't know why the cloud is flickering, it's irritating me a little bit right now. But on those first day of the offensive, they were ordered to fly their missions regardless of the weather. And the cloud ceiling was basically down to the ground. So as soon as they took off, they were already in the cloud and had a very limited visibility. So they could see only a little bit of the ground. It was basically like flying in fog. They could only see a little bit of the ground and basically only see obstacles like, for example, trees, chimneys, buildings. Just a moment before impact. Imagine flying into that. With bombs strapped to the plane, by the way. I mean, that's just... I don't know how any of them made it home. Some didn't. Some, he described that event. One pilot returned home to the airfield with a bit of a metal pipe of a chimney stuck in his lower wing. That's how insane those missions were. And yeah, I'm supposed to fly through this. I'm going to get a little bit of height because this cloud does look a bit thicker than the last one. I'm gonna climb just a little bit. And that's fine, yeah. There is Hess. Bölke should be somewhere in front of me. My poor E1 is just gonna follow these guys home. So it's events like this that get described in those letters. And as I said, I'm astonished that he wrote such things to his wife back in England. She must have been worried sick. But it's good that he did. It makes for a really interesting read. The book is not super long, because there are also stretches where not much happens, or where he was too busy to write something, or stretches where he was on leave, where he of course didn't write any letters to his wife. So you will finish that book fairly quickly, but it's a really, really interesting read from the British perspective. Very interesting. So I highly recommend it. And I don't know it, but I would not be at all surprised if the author of Winged Victory, Yates, not sure how his name is spelled right, while he himself was also a pilot during World War I, and he drew inspiration from that for his book Winged Victory, I wouldn't be at all surprised if he also drew some inspiration from No Parachute. Because in some cases, in some instances, the things described there are kind of similar. And it might just be because, well, they were sent on the same types of missions. That's also very possible. So they are basically describing the same madness. But I wouldn't be surprised if he drew some inspiration from that. And I managed to lose... No, there he is. There's Hess. I was about to say I managed to lose Hess. Are we flying home? I think we might be. I don't think we are continuing our patrol, because we are leaving the front lines well behind us. And it looks like we are flying home to our airfield. I managed to lose him again, I think. But I can find Douai on my own as well, because right there it is. I think that's the airfield over there. Not quite sure, but it might be in the right area. I would have to verify it. I'm trying to link up with Hess again though. I would prefer that. Need to find him first. Gonna shed a bit of altitude here, so that he hopefully skylines. Ah, there he is. Right in front of me. Diving towards him. Man, the E1 is just so slow. So slow. As you saw earlier, it can be quite quick in a dive. But yeah. I'd really like a faster aircraft, please. Well, who knows? Oh, I think there's Bulker too. Maybe I found Hess and Bulker here? Oh, there's the airfield. Oh, one air. That's not Douai. Looks like we might be going for a friendly airfield instead of heading back for Douai. Where might we be? I think we followed those French planes for quite a bit to the south. So Douai might be somewhere to our north here. If possible, I'd like to get back to Douai. So I might leave these guys to land here and head back to Douai myself. However, where is it? Yeah, this is definitely not Douai because I can't see Lens. I think Lens might be to my north in that direction. And if that is the case, if we are south of Douai, then at which airfield are we? This could be in between Douai and Cambrai, the airfield there. Or I should say in between Granville and Cambrai. I think that's where we are. Or maybe we are even further south at Bertancourt, but then I would see Bapaume. And I don't see Bapaume either. No, this is not where we are. I'm pretty sure that over there is Lens, and then Douai should be somewhere in this direction. This must be the airfield near Bronville. In which case we should see another airfield just to the northeast of this one. Yeah, there. So this is indeed where we are. So if I fly just straight north, I will reach Douai. A little bit too much. Like so. Yeah, there's Lens below the cloud. Okay, I'll fly home to Douai. Shouldn't be far, not at all. And once I've reached it, I will welcome you back for the landing and the debrief. I do have enough fuel, right? Ah, it's gonna be a bit close. Maybe that's why they are landing at the friendly airfield back there. We are all running a bit low on fuel, but I think I should have enough to make it. Let me dive below this cloud. Up some more speed and looking for the airfield. Should be pretty much in front of me here somewhere. And that's not Lens. It's too small. What is that then? It's one of the smaller towns. I see a balloon back there. Okay. Yeah, I think Lens is now on my 12 o'clock. Or is it? I might be slightly disoriented here. There's an airfield. Oh, is that why? But then this is Lens. Okay. My mistake. Found why. Is it why? Looks too big to be dry. Where the hell am I now? Balloon. Airfield. Balloon. Balloon so far behind the line. I'm not sure. I'm going to continue to fly north for now. What's the fuel situation like? Getting a bit low. If I don't spot Y soon, then I am going back to that airfield. I managed to get myself a little bit lost here. Have I gone too far north? I don't think so, but I'm not sure. Well, there are also plenty of fields everywhere to land in, if it should come to that. I'm definitely in the wrong neighborhood, I think. I really do have a feeling that I'm lost. Not much fuel. No sign of any other airfields. I'm turning back towards that one. Everything else is too dangerous. An airfield's an airfield. I can land, refuel and ask for directions. And then hop back to Douai. Maybe I was wrong, maybe we weren't down south. Maybe I'm actually north of Douai. Oh, the after action report and the debrief will be interesting. The airfield's 12 o'clock. I should make it. Is that over there Lille? Could be. It's possible that I'm actually north of Douai instead of south as I thought I was. Maybe that's what messed me up here. flew in the wrong direction, and then the airfield in front of us, it would be one of those airfields in between Lens and Lille. But in that case, could be the airfield near Loos. And then we would see a balloon. And then another airfield over there. Somewhere. It's possible. I think that's what happened. I got turned around. Or well, we were actually further north from Douai instead of south. Yeah, there's another airfield back there, I think. So yeah, I think that's where I am. I think I've oriented myself now. We must be at the airfield southeast of Loos now. And we are very low on fuel. As I said, we are very low on fuel. Okay, we are a glider now. Turned around just in time. I hope I have enough energy to glide. It's gonna be dicey. Where's the wind blowing from? Remember, kids, the propeller is there to cool the pilot. He starts sweating when it's off. Where is the damn windsock? There it is. We have... the wind is blowing directly in our face, damn it. Okay. Actually not too bad. We should be able to make it. And since we are glider now, since the engine is not running, I don't have to worry about the centrifugal force of the engine. I'll aim for this bit here in between the sheds. I'm side slipping to lose more speed because I'm coming in a little bit hot. Side slipping hard. Trying to lose speed here. And oh, that was so smooth. And pull the stick back. That was so smooth. I love it. Hi guys! Can you spare me a bit of fuel? That would be lovely. What do we have here? Just a truck. Oh boy! That was close. That was really close. But where did my guys land then? Did they land in Douai and I didn't recognize my own airfield? No, they landed. They landed near Carvin, just a little bit south of here, that airfield. That must be where they landed. Interesting. Yeah, okay. Let's go to the debrief. Oh boy. Got lost there. But everything's alright, I'm alive. Okay, I fired 19 rounds, 7 of those hit, actually a good percentage. Blah blah blah, let's see. 2 machines landed safely. What? No. Let's see. Now everybody's okay, it's probably not counting me because I didn't land. Okay, everybody landed at Hoboda. I didn't. I don't know why the game is doing that. It seems to basically state everyone to have landed where the flight leader landed, but I was not at Hoboda, I'm somewhere else. We'll see in a moment where. I'm the only one who got any shots off at that Caudron. Satisfied the honor of our squadron. But of course I'm not gonna claim that thing because it did not go down. 74 minutes of flight time. So I think we can conclude that the Fokker E1 has enough fuel for about 70 minutes of flight. Oh boy, that was really close. Okay, let's hit done. And see if something interesting happens. Another day dawns. It is now the 7th of February, 10 o'clock. Any news articles? Yes. Let's see. I've read this one to you, so we have one new one. On the 7th of February. Air attack sinks ship. Aircraft from the Imperial Russian Navy Black Sea Fleet seaplane carriers Imperator Nikolai I and Imperator Alexander I have sunk the Ottoman bulk coal carrier Irmingard, 4,211 gross register tons. The destruction of a large ship by aircraft alone is remarkable and seems to be a harbinger of things to come in naval warfare. Alright. Okay. Transfer request is still pending, but let's review this mission here that we have flown. Let's select all air units and let's see, where did we actually go? Okay, we are all taking off, flying down here. Fokker E3s are taking off in the south. Newport 11s are taking off at Savy. It's a good thing we didn't run into those. A B2C is taking off, or multiple. FA-18. LBA Aviatics taking off from Fallenpa in the north. Looks like some E3s are going after some British AA guns on the front lines. I don't know why, but this E3 unit down here, they really like ground strafing. I'm not sure why, but I'm noticing that they are doing a lot of stuff like that, just terrorizing everybody on the front lines down here. Losing an aircraft from time to time, but generally apparently doing pretty well. A Caudron becomes airborne. I wonder if that's the Caudron that we encountered. Airco DH2. Oh, okay. So those have been sighted in the airspace. That's nice to know. Okay, Fokker E3 was actually shot down. That's not so nice. We are flying up here to Lens. We are turning around and we are starting our patrol. Newport 10s are going after one of our observation balloons near Bronville. Yeah, the E3s are returning back home. Observation balloon is brought down by the enemy. And yeah, this is where we encounter the Caudron and we go after it. To here, Savy. We have basically walked into the lion's den here, apparently. My rounds hit the Caudron. Meanwhile, a B-2C was flying recon pretty much in the area that we were supposed to protect. Shit. Pfalz E3 lands at Douai. Oh yeah, we are sharing the airfield with them, I think, with the Bavarians. And the Caudron lands at Savy. Yeah, we actually made a little visit to Savy, which is really nice because in a previous episode the guys from Savy visited us and now we visited them. B-2C was forced down by anti-aircraft fire. Good. Whatever recon work it didn't get to go home. B-2C is receiving blast damage. Newports are landing at Savy. Yeah, we just missed those, thankfully. And I was indeed flying north. Okay, I'm low on fuel. Newport 11 are landing at Savy. It's really good that we avoided those, Escadrille 15. They were in the air somewhere, flying a patrol. Everybody's landing at Hobodain, but that's not where I'm landing. I'm flying a little bit further north here towards Lens and Lille. And pretty soon I'm going to, yeah, I'm turning around, I'm recognizing that I'm running very low on fuel and I have to land now. Fokker E3s are landing, and this is me landing, no, this is my engine cutting out near Loos. And this is me landing at Hoopla. That's the airfield where I landed. I thought my guys are landing somewhere down here. And so I thought that Dua is north of me. I thought that we had chased this Escadron further south. My bad. Got a little bit lost there. But it's okay. We still managed to find our way home. I wonder why didn't my guys go back to Dua? I mean, looking from... Maybe at the point where they decided to end the patrol and go home. Maybe at that point Habodan was just a little bit closer than Dua. But that's the mission. No damage. Excellent. Oh boy, that was fun. There was no big fight this episode, but it was still really interesting due to the things that happened. And I do hope that you have enjoyed the episode, and that you are looking forward to more, and that you are looking forward to the resolution of this transfer request. Let me know in the comments what you think, which unit am I going to? Maybe which unit, which airfield? And I hope to see you again next time when we... Well, maybe this episode here, maybe this is the last time that you have seen me fly for FFA 62. It's possible. Maybe it isn't. I don't know at this point. I don't know how long the transfer request will be evaluated before they make a decision on that. It's possible that we'll fly a bunch more missions for FFA 62. It's possible that the next mission will already... Well, the next mission will be for FFA 62, but it will be a mission where nothing happens, and so you might not get to see it. And then the next episode might see me already somewhere else. But I hope you're looking forward to whatever it might be. Until then, have some really great days and goodbye.